the meeting to order if we could, please. First, before we get started on our regular business, just want to announce that our treasurer, Rhonda Fenwick's mother, passed away last night in her sleep. I didn't realize it was in her sleep. Rhonda called me this morning. Was not going to be able to be here, and said her mother had passed, but I didn't know what she'd been sick. But she'd had some health issues over the years. Just keep her in your prayers, if you would, please. Rhonda's a great asset to our team here and does a great job for us. First thing would be the minutes. Minutes from the May 5 meeting. This was mailed to the magistrates. Any corrections or changes?
None noted. Motion to approve is presented.
Motion been made by Sam Hudson, second by Jeff Lear. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry. Next will be your bills and your transfers. Your transfers are a little bit more than usual because we're finishing, as we wind up the year, we'll just move money internally from one line item to another line item. You'll notice some very large bills in the bills list there. One for the Lincoln Trail Health Department for $163,000. That's our fourth quarter payment for the contribution that we make to the health department. Some additional bills to the cities for the recreation support for the final part of this fiscal year. Some significant blacktopping money. Some of those are reimbursement from that we'll get from the state. I'll be glad to try to answer any questions you may have on the bills.
Is this, as far as transfers go, this is probably the last set of transfers?
There'll probably be one more, our last meeting in June, more than likely.
Just a cleanup range
Yes.
for admin purposes?
I make a motion to accept.
Thank you, Jerry.
I'll second motion.
Second by Bernard Ice. Any further discussion? All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry. Thank you all. First item would be the tax moratorium request. We have, I conferred actually with Barbie, called me the other day on this as well. She's here today. Are you awake, Barbie?
Yes.
Okay, you were looking down. We have found out that the first one that you've got there is Charles Gemini. He's redoing his mother and father's home there. I checked with Barbara. Everything he's done to date would not affect any reassessment. However, he has violated the spirit or the law on starting the project without seeking the 30, he's supposed to send that 30 days in advance. It was my recommendation to approve that, but Matthew pointed out that he is technically in violation and he would be fined. So, I don't, any discussion from the court on that?
I think we ought to wait on it personally. According to the KRS, you have to notify 30 days prior to.
I fully understand.
So, you know, if,
Nobody does that, by the way.
no.
Everybody starts
I feel
gutting
like
and-
they probably don't.
But you were aware of the law. You know, some guy out in Washington State that looks online and sees that available. But by the way, his was printed out and looked like it was typed up real neat. And it was sent in to Barbara actually before I got it. So somebody from out that's doing something like that, has a contractor from out of town, probably not going to know about this program. And I guess we probably really need to get state law changed to accommodate those. Anyway, that neither one of these qualify that you have in your hands.
Okay.
Last, the phone.
She's done the same thing. She started gutting.
Just curious on this application for this cheek here. It's not a property value administrator's signature on this.
Because she sent it to me directly before it came to Barbara. And we've done it both ways, Jeff.
I always thought Barbara signed them. I mean, I believe everyone that's ever came through here, Barbara's signature.
No, there's been a couple.
Has it?
Yeah. That just sent them direct. Barbara and I work real close together on those, and we're in communication, so you stay on those.
That's a shame.
It's a
This is
shame.
program.
But you know, I was looking at the one on
Chief.
the Gemley up on North Third. And I really believe, Mayor, since you're here today, I really believe that 80% of what they're gonna do at that home won't affect their reassessment, because it's gonna be inside.
I
Yeah,
apologize, I'm stopping the chief, on which house you're
on
talking?
Gemley home, I think most of, I don't think, Barbara will not reassess for, new curtains, draperies, flooring, painting, re-plumbing. She's not gonna reassess for plumbing, I can tell you that.
Well, in my opinion, anything that's construction, that goes electric, plumbing, anything like that, to me, that adds, value to the home.
Yeah.
And that is of my opinion.
Unless this home's sold, I bet it won't go up over 10% in the next 5 years. I've seen too many of these over the years that,
I've done a few myself,
but you've usually sold yours.
done pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So there's
I
a
say-
difference, there's
I
a
say
difference.
value does go up.
Yeah. The value will go up if you sell it. But usually, it won't trigger. You can put you can take an old house and put hardwood floors in it, spend $30,000 painting and fixing it up, they're not gonna reassess you. Not gonna reassess you, unless you sell it. That's what triggers it. Now, they'll do the automatic every 3 years or 4 years, they do an automatic, I guess, renewal. Reappraisal of it, but it doesn't change a whole lot.
That house had been in construction for several months.
Yeah, yeah. This fellow's out in Washington State, so he's, I'll report to him. I got his email the other day. Next on the agenda was Boone's Butcher Shop request for an easement. You guys have a copy of a request from Horizon Engineering, asked for a easement on some property that the county owns there by the city's electric company, going up the road that the electric company's used for several years, and as well not electric company, but the city has used for service in their substation there. Boone Butcher Shop has asked, they're gonna add on to their building, they're gonna be coming to the Planning Commission and the City Board of Adjustments for a variance to add on to that side of their property. Their business has grown so much.
How long is that easement? You know, Jim?
It's how far back?
Yeah.
It's,
Why does the easement get wider in the back than it does in the front?
because you gotta turn the trucks in there. This is for tractor trailer entrance,
Yeah.
and it's one-way traffic for tractor trailer entrance, so he can back that truck into the new loading dock.
I noticed you don't have the width or the length on it, neither one.
Well, and I think some of those details will come.
You're looking at
But they gotta go through the city for a variance
it's
first.
about 250 feet deep from the property line.
This easement will not be necessary if the city does not grant a variance, and that will come to the city over several months.
For the addition.
For the addition.
And they gotta get a permit too, an encroachment permit to come in there. It's kind of a intersection entrance type thing. It's a little goofy, but doable, I guess, if the city agrees with it, as far as traffic goes. Not mentioning.
It is my recommendation to the court to approve this with consideration that it has to be approved by the city first, and then they don't want to move forward with any further planning unless we're okay with granting an easement.
I'll make a motion to grant the easement as presented.
I have a motion on the floor, and Jerry was first there.
It don't matter.
And Jerry Hahn second. Any further discussion? All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove?
Uh,
Motion carries. One disapproval. Understood. I hate getting ready to call you weird.
They'll have
They'll have. The one disapproved.
keep, if it gets to where they get their variances and all that, they'll have to have a legal description.
They'll bring it back on something for
It'll
us.
have to be a recorded easement, permit type thing.
Okay, next on the list is pickup truck bids. You guys had asked, we were looking for a used pickup truck for Russell. However, we found out that used pickup trucks that meet the description and workload that we require out of Russell anymore, especially since we utilize him for snow plowing and salting and other things he does for us. I guess the cheapest vehicle we could find was about $22,000 with about 100-some thousand miles on it. So we advertised and come up with a 2016 Ford F-250 for four-wheel drive for $27,444. We could get a F-350 for $28,223, about another $800.
Same motor in both these?
Yes.
About four.
Same exact truck. Ford was the only one that submitted a bid. I mean, we sent requests out, but they were the only one that responded. They have the state contract price. guys.
Right, and I'd recommend, getting a 350 for the dollar amount.
Then
It's
you
the
get
same.
5-year warranty versus
Yeah,
a 3.
2-year.
Yeah.
I take that back, that is, when you see that 5-year versus 3-year key, that's covered on both trucks.
That's
What it
covered
is,
on
it's
both.
3-year bumper to bumper, and then it's 5 years on your
On
drivetrain.
drivetrain.
Yes.
On either truck that you
Any
do.
truck you get that.
See what I'm saying?
Regardless.
It's the same.
The warranty's the same on
The
both
warranty's
trucks.
the same. The only difference between the two trucks is one's a 250, one's a 350. Same engine, same transmission, same
The
everything.
suspension and all those heavier on the 350.
Correct.
The gross vehicle, low
Correct.
rate.
We do that just to
I
get a
would-
comparison on what
I
the
think
difference
you're right
between
too,
the two are.
Art.
I think for what Russell
For
does, I think
$800
we,
difference.
for $800, we ought to spend the money. and
Well,
buy
he'll-
it.
Now, you know, that old truck he had, we only had it about 12, 15 years, and we brought it secondhand. So we tried to find another secondhand one that would fit his needs.
And it had the price been low enough, I would've said that's exactly what we should've done, but for the difference in the used one versus this, we probably need to go with this vehicle.
Motion to approve the bid from Conway Eaton.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Sam, second by Jerry. Discussion
On which vehicle?
on the
On the
350,
F-350.
350.
Yes.
All approved, say aye.
But now that 350 is not.
Disapprove, motion carries.
Can we make sure Russell cleans it occasionally?
Dean, one thing on that, the plow and the, cause we got the salt box, that's why the heavier springs are required. We got the salt box that they'll use,
Yeah.
but the plow and the
Okay.
brackets
Yeah.
will have to probably be new because they won't match it.
Just give
He's
me
got a
prices.
Chevrolet. You look, I sent y'all an email. I
Yeah.
sent you an email.
That's been how long ago?
I sent you an email a couple of weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago, yes.
But anyway, it's something, it's a $5,000 purchase, what I'm getting at.
You guys wanna go ahead and get the snow plow to go on?
They go out for bids, I mean, I haven't got
Don't have to
quotes.
buy a new snow plow?
I
Yeah, the
don't,
other one, we
I don't
saved
believe
the,
they'll match up,
we
Jerry.
saved the, what do you call
Well, I
it?
know
The brackets,
the railings on a Ford and a Chevrolet are different,
right,
and a Dodge.
but I can do that later.
But yeah,
I can
just
do
get the,
I just-
proposal for us and bring it back to
it.
us.
I'll do that, I'll get quotes.
It's over the $5,000.
And I'll make sure what he's asking, that the plow won't interchange.
Let's move on to jail report from Dorcas.
Okay, today we have a total of 121 inmates. 4 of these are in Hardin County. We have 2 on home incarceration. We have 3 serving weekends, and these 3 serving weekends are state inmates. And state inmates, we have 33. So we have an in-house total of 112 inmates. Man days for April, controlled intake was 811 man days. That's an average of 27 a day. Class B, we had 291 man days, an average of 9 a day. Nelson County, we had 2,411 man days, that's a daily average of 80. So our total for April was 3,513 man days, that was a daily average of 117. New arrest for April, males was 162, females 57, that's a total of 219. Releases, we released 151 males, 57 females, that was a total of 208. Sentenced inmates out of district court, we have 9. We don't have anybody serving weekends out of district. Waiting for court, we've got 15. Now, some of these 15 is waiting for the grand jury, probably about 4 of them. Home incarceration, we have 2. On our state inmates, we have 21 controlled intake, 12 class Ds. We have 4 controlled intake serving weekends. Community service, we have 6. Work release, we have 3. Sentenced out of circuit court to jail time, we have 3. We don't have any that's out of drug court. Circuit court, waiting for court, we have 52, so we have a total of 67 that has not been sentenced out of both courts.
Okay. Jerry, you have a question?
Yes, focus at, $5,000 at the hospital, right here. Is that just for, being in there, or is that for their medicine and everything?
No, that's just for, the emergency room only, and that was back in March of last year.
Oh, and you just,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Makes sense.
EMS report?
The EMT class that we've been conducting completed last week. Kentucky Board of EMS had the evaluators came in on Friday and did the practical exam for all the students. I'm happy to report they all passed that practical exam. Basically, they have to be able to display that they're proficient in each of the skills that they've been taught through the class. Now they will start a review, if you will, and prepare them for the national computer test, which is a pretty cumbersome test, so we'll spend the next couple of weeks working on that. This week is designated as National EMS Week. I think it's also National Hospital Week at the same time this year. So we're celebrating that. We'll be doing a few things for the staff during the week. Kentucky Board of EMS also conducted the annual inspection last week on our vehicles, equipment, supplies, facilities, documentation. I'm happy to report we did not have any deficiencies in any of the areas, so that's my report.
Thank you. Landfill solid waste report, Brad?
For the news media, as always, with the upcoming holiday, we'll be off Monday. Everything gets pushed today, same schedule we always use. So we can get that notice out. We did get our tires hauled out. I told you guys about that. We guessed 8 loads, ended up being 7, a little bit. I'll wait till we get some more in before I have that 8th load coming in. But that's just routine business, really, yeah.
Okay. You have your meter in yet?
Came in last week.
Okay.
We had some issues, and I didn't bring it up, but we had high load. Thank goodness it was just a water pump issue. So we had to work on it. We got a garbage truck down right now that we're focusing on, and once we get that done, we'll try to get that meter installed. Then once we get installed, we gotta bring a guy in. That's that leachate flow meter, you guys, it's probably gonna build it. You gotta bring it in, then you gotta calibrate it after you get it installed. We gotta install it ourselves, which is not a terribly big job, it's just.
You wanna briefly discuss the hazardous duty pay for the garbage guys on the back of the trucks? It's
I don't
just
know.
easy when I said that.
I don't know if Dean forwarded you all the email that I sent. We had about a 4.5 foot long rattlesnake that a guy had to deal with this past week. Yeah, on Hardin West, close to my house, so it's a wonder if my wife hadn't made us move yet. So,
It was a big old
that was
fat.
the biggest
fat
snake I'd seen, a rattlesnake, in a long time.
They said the biggest snake ever found back in that area.
I think I left the garbage.
Was it around? I sent,
He was
Raymond, I
come
sent
out from under a
that
camel
picture
straight across
to
the
the
road.
sheriff,
Oh, maybe he's.
and I said, I think our guys want the hazardous duty retirement pay now.
Did he still survive?
We won't discuss that on the court.
Okay.
Move on to the road department report, real fast.
Back with Donnie Searles.
First item on the list there is the salt bids for 2015-16 through the Keiko reverse auction. Cargill de-icing was the apparent low bidder at $76.23. We are proposing purchasing 1,400 tons at a price of $106,722. That will give us ample, when we get our new barn completed, we'll be able to use what we have in hand and buy about 700 tons and have a few more 100 tons to be able to get it shipped as we need it.
Is that the case with this particular bid? I remember last year they promised you a quantity, you didn't have to pay for it unless you need
Correct. Same way.
As needed, it's the same way it's written up every year, it's as
You're lucky to
needed.
get
We
one.
don't have to take it, yeah, what happens is they don't have it when you need it.
Right. That's the reason why we're building the barn, that way we got a full year's supply on hand. all at one time, typically. That's our goal.
Construction crew started on the bond this morning, they came in.
Good. So, we need a motion to approve Cargill, as the vendor.
Approve the Cargill de-icing for the salt bid.
Thank you, Jeff. Is there a second to that motion? Second by Bernard Ice. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry.
Have we dealt with this company before, Jim?
Yeah, years past, they're well-known, they're a big corporation. They're all like brokers,
I
they
know
all,
what
they
the
all
same
get the
company.
salt on a barge and they all get sections of it, I guess, I don't know
Where
exactly.
you all get yours from, Mayor Morton Salt?
City's bid was, I got theirs in here somewhere.
You've gotten them from Cargill too, probably.
I think their low bid was, Cargill, $76.50 a ton was their.
They're all gonna be within $1 or $2. You're lucky if you get it too, though. If, you know, they'll let you buy it early and stockpile it early, because when everybody wants it, especially if it's snowing up north, pretty hard. We ordered 600 tons on our last load, and we got 400, that's all we got. All they can ship it.
And then Dean, on the 29th, that's when we'll open our other material bids, pipe, asphalt, rock, same old stuff. And then, so hopefully at the next court meeting, I'll have a summary for you guys for approval.
That'd be a requirements contract for your asphalt.
The same advertising instead.
Next on the agenda, Jim has requested, in our new budget coming up, a used backhoe. But in the meantime, we're in need of a machine. We have a proposal from Wayne Supply to lease a backhoe, 2011 model 420E IT for $2,000 a month. And by leasing this backhoe, if we were to purchase a backhoe from them, whatever our lease payments would be credited against the any amount that we would pay for it, sort of like we did Brad's compactor at the landfill. That worked out real well.
Is that credit applied to this particular backhoe or any backhoe?
You know, this particular.
This particular backhoe. If they were to be the bid, when we bid for a used piece of equipment,
So then we'd lose it if
yeah,
somebody else came in.
it's only on this piece of equipment.
We lose it at what?
If somebody else beats their price.
I don't think they will, but yes, essentially, yes.
We'll accept the best low bid.
Yeah. But I would make the recommendation or the motion that we accept this lease agreement with Wayne.
$2,000 a month.
$2,000 a month. Be
For up
applied
to 6
up
months.
to 6 months with the lease to be applied toward the purchase price of that unit.
Have you already got the backup?
No.
I'm sorry. You just say, I have a motion on the floor, and second by Jerry, right, Jerry? All right, now discussion.
No.
So we haven't seen the backup.
Other than the pictures you got that he sent.
Yeah.
There's some pictures in his proposal.
They said it can
I mean,
keep it this week.
it's a 2011 model, it's got 1,150 hours, which is, you know, not too many hours, and we don't put a lot of hours on it. One of those
A
machines-
new one's about 110,000.
Correct.
You wanna see it?
With
One
the,
with this
with the whole
age-
RAM features and the other features that you have,
You
with the
know,
cab, with the air conditioning.
One like this is around $75,000 right now, so he's offered us a pretty good deal on it.
Just, yeah, the used ones on their website are anywhere from 75 to 82,000.
The best thing about it is we're gonna use it for 6 months. If there's an issue, we pay the rent, we send the machine back.
Yeah,
and
if
we're
it
done.
turns out to be a problem machine.
So they are gonna take care of the maintenance on it for the 6 months?
No, we have to make sure the maintenance is done, that's typically when you do.
I'm talking about if the pump goes out.
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna
Oh,
have to pay
yeah.
for it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're responsible for measuring.
Just like we did, you remember that we did the same thing with,
All right, right.
The
What?
road grader.
road grader? Yeah, that's right, the road grader. I knew
And
that.
the compactor.
And the compactor, yeah.
Same situation.
All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion carries. Next would be Maywood Avenue plat correction. You guys, actually Sam and Jim knew about this several years ago, and getting property owners.
Actually, I thought it'd been corrected because we brought it to their attention some time ago.
2008.
And sent a letter in 2008.
and thought that it was taken care of, but evidently it never got recorded.
Basically, guys, you wanna look at this. This road here is what was built. This is what was platted.
How did they do these lots? They did it off this plan?
They did it on this plan. This is done, this is as built. What you're seeing here, this is what was gonna be proposed. They put it in, but then they replatted and they did it, so we brought it to their attention.
So they took it off that back plant, right?
This is part of phase
Back in
one
there?
plat that went all the way to Potter Shop Road. They didn't pay attention to phase, as they came out with 8 phases. This is phase 9 that they goofed on.
You understand why they do these in phases, guys?
Yes.
For money.
Money.
And
Cash
that's,
flow.
if you look on here, you kind of see the, this
How's
is where
that
the
road,
problem is.
how's that
This
road
is where
gonna
they left-
continue over there?
It's platted all
It'll
the way.
continue off of
There's
this
some other sheets
now
there.
and be replatted.
You see how it is?
It
on
looks
here?
like someone's property over right here. This is
It's golf
existing
course.
right now,
Yeah, the solid line is.
so they're gonna have to curve over here somehow to get on that?
No, see, here's where it goes like this. This is the plat you're
Oh, okay.
approving, then it makes a 90 there, and it comes up and it's gonna go back this way.
Oh, okay.
These plats that you're
I see
approving
it
go
now.
all the way to
Part of Shop Road.
Potter Shop.
Power Stop Road, just like that, okay? This is future, this is being platted right now.
Yeah,
To
but-
get to Potter.
There's a hole right over there.
So they are on time.
Yeah.
Do I think we have to
That's
build
what
a
they
water
do.
shop, open that up.
Here's,
Eventually.
Eventually.
But it's what I said, they got to.
It's platted, the right of way to be platted, somebody can build a public road and do if they want. We could go in there and build it if y'all decide to one day, that'll never happen.
here's the deal, guys. The road's been built the way you see it there. The statute says 178.060, the changes in location of county roads follow certain requirements. First requirement is to have all property owners affected sign off on the plat. That's been done, and not, might be, we're gonna double check all signatures, but we think we've got them all. The fiscal court has to approve the change in the road location, and separately, the county judge has to approve and sign off. And I've attached a copy of a,
Okay with it?
attached a copy of an agreed order that statute calls for. Matthew has reviewed it. Real simple, try not to complicate life, guys.
What about the lots that's not sold?
Right, Matthew? That's why they had to sign off on it.
Yeah, that's the reason it had to be.
There were about 7 or 8 houses already built,
Yeah.
maybe 9.
These are already built through here. And
There's
there's 3 in this cul-de-sac that's built, so they don't have a choice but
Is
to.
that back here where Tim, where we went and looked and dipped in the road?
No,
That's
no, if
different.
you went straight past the
That's
clubhouses
right.
here,
Clubhouse
you
back
go
here.
straight past the
But did you
clubhouse.
say
And
most
it did.
of them is done signed off,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, like I said, we
Clear that up
actually thought
before
this
we-
was cleared up about 5 or 6 years ago.
Make a motion.
So I make a motion, we accept
Yes.
the plat.
Plat, and the and the change of location of the
And
road.
then change the location of the road as presented.
A second by Jerry Hahn. Any further discussion? All approve, say aye. Disapprove? Motion
And
will
and
carry.
we are sure this is gonna get done this time, Jim.
I can't guarantee all that. Yeah, give the dean.
What's it got to do, go through planning and zoning now to get?
No, she just has to sign off on the.
I gotta sign off on the plat.
Jim's gotta sign, and I gotta sign.
All the property owners that own the lots have to sign off, and they're gonna double check that, and they
This
do
will be-
signatures.
This will be your road one day, Mayor.
So, once all that, Matthew's looked at it, make sure we're on the line, I think.
Jim, rest of your report.
City of Bardstown has requested an easement, through our property.
I thought you was gonna wait till you get the right.
I thought you wanted just to bring it to their
Okay.
attention.
It was so messed up, I didn't know if you wanted to.
No, they're gonna, if they approve it with conditions, it gets rectified, you know, it's one thing. I mean, I can hold it, it doesn't matter. What they're trying to do is run an electric line out there at the Justice Center. Underground, to serve a traffic light.
Just kick them, man.
There's the pictures, here's the plat. It's a deed of easement. We gave them a deed of easement for a water line back here. It's where we tore down the bingo building, okay? It's all green space, and they're gonna hug the property line, is what they're gonna do. There's really no problem with doing it.
But Salt River serves that
Area,
area.
right. So I'm not really sure why why they're gonna run an underground to serve the traffic light, but that's what they
Okay.
asked, so. This is a draft deed of easement, it needs to be fixed. It's got some verbiage on it, it's not quite right.
But the picture basically illustrates the
What's
easement
gonna
they're
happen.
requesting, right?
Correct.
Everybody understand that?
Never know what's in the ground.
As long as it's right on the property lines like it won't affect any building, future buildings.
So wide easement is it?
10 feet permanent with a 20-foot construction. This is underground cable, about 2-inch, 3-inch cable that's gonna run.
How wide's the water?
Same thing, it's gonna be, the water ends here, Keith.
They can't run it in the same ditch?
It is.
Beside it?
They are, but the water ends here. The water comes from here to here. They need to go all the way to 150
So
to be able to serve power to this traffic light.
Where's the?
But
where's
that's
the-
not getting them to that traffic light. There's still that lot between them.
Jeff indicated they got some kind of conduit in the ground or whatever is what he told me yesterday. I'm not 100% sure how.
There won't be any above ground transformers there, will it?
Yes,
Will it be?
they'll have to be.
Yeah, they'll have to be one to start and one to end.
Well, they'll tie in, I'm not sure, but I think there'll be one.
Not out by the road, surely. will
Yeah,
it?
I think so.
Yeah.
They have to have a connection.
That's how they're gonna get power to the.
Well, what's powering that light now?
Overhead.
Overhead.
No, I don't think it's on river power.
That's, you sure then?
But then why would the city be taking it? I don't know.
City power, the mayor says the city power.
Yeah. And they're gonna try to get it underground in
Oh,
there.
I'm all for underground.
But it will be a pad mounted transformer out there.
Probably
So-
too.
Just so like Town and Country's got it across the street.
Yes,
there.
yes,
Okay.
yes. There's actually a pad mounted transformer right here in the corner.
My
You-
question,
Yeah.
Mayor, is it
That's
gonna be a set of them
solid
bull horns like down at the cathedral down there?
No, and I got the bullhorns, we got that under control too.
Okay.
I can't tell you yet, but it's under control. There was some
You
big-
guys understand what they're trying to do here?
Does it need action today?
I'd like to look at it.
Y'all can go out and look at it.
Yeah.
Go out and look at it, and we'll bring it back to.
Jeff will give me a revised easement that will be correct for next fiscal court. I'll
Yeah,
send
because
it
this
back.
one talks about other issues.
Cause that looks like it's going behind the old, cinema property on the backside between it and, the hotel. Is that correct? Well, I'm looking at
Is
it.
this
This is Guthrie
the senior
Drive.
citizen building here?
Over here.
Here's where it's going, see the pictures? It's coming down, see the power, see they already got the cables laying up in this, they're gonna come right down beside this, this right here is a Salt River transformer. It's gonna come here, then it's gonna run down here, and they're gonna put a pad over here.
What's it gonna tie onto that power right there? Where's the city gonna tie onto?
They're
it?
tying into behind this building, their service is back here. This is Salt River's pad, they're not gonna, they're gonna go around here. These are abandoned meters, the old water meters for the old buildings that we tore down. But we're gonna go down about 7-8 feet off that retaining wall. Our property line's like a foot away from that retaining wall.
Is that the old hotel?
That's, what do they call that, Reeves? That's that middle building.
That's the strip mall out front.
Yeah. The hotel,
So Donald Riggs
The
owns that
back
strip
of the
mall.
hotel's
Where
here.
David Bray's real estate company and all
that's the
that
back
is.
of the hotel.
Yeah.
Well, we'd like.
I stood here, took a picture that way, then I turned and took a picture that way. So I'm looking back where they're coming from, then they're gonna come down this way.
I wanna look at it.
We go out and look at it.
Okay. Jim, do you have any more road department report? Was this yours?
Yes, it right now.
I gave somebody, I don't know, it didn't matter.
Mobley Mill Road Bridge is tore down, closed. Hornback Construction, they do a quick job, so
Haven't seen it?
that's
Wow.
yesterday's pictures.
What span is that?
It's gonna be about an 80-foot span, that's one of the longer spans, it'd be 33-inch deep. precast boxing, same thing we do, but they put a 4-inch cap over it. It's a $320,000 project. Sam, yours cost us $220, so,
Yeah.
No pier out in the middle?
no.
Thanks, man.
Did the old one have a pier?
No, that was one of the problems. They undersized the beams when they built it and designed it back in '75. Only had a 12-ton rating. If you put any asphalt on it, they knocked it down to 7 tons, and there was some deterioration. This is funded straight from state project. This is a KRS project.
This is one of those we put in through the federal program.
They need to be done for 4 or 5 years.
Or longer.
It helps that it's in your district.
Yeah.
Progress as promised.
Yeah. It didn't help that I got phone calls for 4 years griping about it.
Wait till they take the new bridge and start putting the
I've already
graffiti
got-
underneath it.
I've already got complaints already, closing it.
At least you gotta look at those rocks.
Yeah.
Those aren't historic rocks. That's poured in place 1975
Some
concrete,
things
fellas.
never die.
1970.
Jim, what do you
Stop
think,
looking at it.
what do you think about getting some of this rubble here?
And trying to sell it?
Trying to sell it.
Yeah.
District 4, 3 and 4 magistrates, that's the best investment this county's ever made with
That's an internal
County
scope,
judge.
guys.
They didn't have the big blue, okay. That
I
bridge
think that-
needs to be
some
done.
things never die either.
No.
I haven't brought it up about a half a dozen times.
I think you started this morning, Sam, so.
It's an asset that we still need to hold on.
All right, real quick, the basic
I
work.
done rode over it, rode over it.
I know Dean wants to get on. So we're bush hogging District 5, we've completed, we're going now in District 2. We finished our grade work on the salt barn. McMichael's came out there this morning, laying it out. They want to meet with me after this to make sure it's squared up to suit us, so I'm gonna go there. We've done some work on Leonard Hall, grading and work. We did stabilize the shoulder on Leonard Hall Road, with riprap dug down about 6 feet and stabilized it like I was talking about. Got that done. It should do okay. It was just one little short section that settled. We've done some hot mix patching on leftover work orders from last year. I gotta get the total, but we haven't gone over budget, Dean, so. Walter Hall, Wilson Creek, Caney Fork, and H. Leathers are places we've hot mix patch. We've actually done some chip sealing too. We chip sealed Fairfield roads that we hadn't done for about 8-9 years, and Cornish Lane.
And you've got several little streets there in Fairfield.
Fairfield Road, right, Dudley, Wells, Tishner,
Yes,
Casey.
yes.
If you guys see, you've got chip seals, start giving them to me, we'll assemble. I got a spreadsheet on the dates. If you did one 2 years ago, we'll tell you no, so.
I got one that needs it bad, done last year.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Cecil Ridge Road, by the water tower.
Yeah, those guys gotta get up there to hunt, so.
Yes, Chief?
Judge, while he's giving that road report, I just want to insert here that Brad and Jim both helped with the fire department coordinate while Mago was out in that area to get the paving done on the parking area out there. Very much appreciate their help.
And that's ditch work, some driveway entrance culverts on Wilkerson, Coon Hollow. We hauled 40 loads in topsoil at the request of the soccer people at Dean Watts Park, so that's about it, fellas, for the Nelson County Road Department.
Thank you, Jim. Bloomfield EMS station, it's the intent of the city of Bloomfield to, if you saw in the paper or not, to build a building. Over the years, Joe and I have always dealt with having a proper house for the EMS station. Bloomfield's going to build a building similar to what we're doing in New Haven housing, where the ambulance will be inside in inclement weather, and also our folks will have a place, an office to hang out with and deal with waiting around for calls and so forth. The Bloomfield City Council asked if I would draft a resolution, basically giving them some positive encouragement to move forward with their project. Resolution states Nelson Fiscal Court anticipates to lease an ambulance station from the city of Bloomfield at an approximate cost of $500 per month, provided that all parties agree on specifications and terms to be determined. You understand what I'm saying, guys? They've got to present us a set of plans, but they didn't want to move forward with that concept. The fiscal court didn't want to lease it in the future.
Take approximate out, and I'm okay with it.
At approximate cost, okay?
500 a month.
Well, this is just a
Yeah,
resolution, it's nothing binding.
That's what we agreed on over at that meeting.
It might be $495.
Well, they'll put 500 or under.
I'll make a motion for that.
You want to approve the resolution as presented? Okay, I have a second. Second by Bernard Ice. Any further discussion? All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion carries. So you got your $500.
That's right, that's right. I had to take care of Mr. Holmes.
Next would be a budget amendment. Rhonda presented a budget amendment to you, fellows. This is basically some in and out money. AOC reimbursements are up a little bit. I'm gonna go through the soil conservation assistance. That's the money where, remember, we loaned the sewer conservation money, they paid us back. Excess fees from the clerk and the sheriff. Homeland Security grant, that was for the cot, right, Joe?
Yes.
Cot.
38,000?
Yeah. And the certificate of deposit was just money being transferred.
Or 20 grand?
No, it was 600.
657,000.
Oh.
That's for the Justice Center payment, correct?
No, that's the certificate of deposit was for the gas line. We just moved some money around.
Okay.
Everybody understand that?
Did we ever get any money on the gas line?
Not yet. Still working on it.
Are we gonna know for fiscal year end?
Probably not. Probably not. We're close to knowing, but it's not. It's usually about September when they announce those grants.
Was it 750,000 we had last week?
720, 40, something like that. Yeah. A motion to approve the budget ordinance as presented.
Oh, man.
Budget amendment ordinance. Motion been made by Keith Metcalf, second by Jerry Hahn. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion carries. Before we go to the first reading of the budget, I want to thank the city of Bloomfield and their Kenny Downs, their policeman, and Scott Dennis, their policeman. They covered for us and helped us cover during the time that we had the shooting incident over on Parkway Drive. They come over and help cover. And that allowed flexibility. Raymond wanted to make sure that the court knew that, the community knew that we worked together with all the agencies. Before we go into for the budget itself, we have the mayor here. Mayor, did you want to say something or here for? I should have called on you right before the meeting started. I didn't want you to sit through all of our business meetings. But as courtesy to any elected official, I should have done that. I'm sorry.
Just kind of want to address the measures. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to my chief and the guys that passed this EMT training. I think that's a plus for the community, no matter where they're at, because I think that's a first responder and it's critical. So I want to thank them, thank Joe for doing the training. Again, that's an asset to the community. The second thing I'd like to address is this fire department issue. Want to kind of clear some air on some things that some of you magistrates already know. I had talked with them. I talked to, I think, almost every magistrate except for Jerry. I didn't get with you, Jerry, and I apologize for that, and even Dean Watts. The corporation is a corporation. It's a LLC. So the actual negotiation was not between me and Dean or me and you as a county as a magistrates, because that's not the way that works. It is a corporation, and my negotiations was with the chairman of the board. That started out with Neil Powell. This ended up with Stacy over a big whatever they had. But so anyway, that continued on, and it's gone up to a conclusion at this point. If you have any questions, that's where that's at. And if you felt like you were excluded, you were not. It's just that the negotiations was between me and the chairman of the board. So
Well, the only
it's kind of-
question I've got, John, is, you pretty much said this or that, and they couldn't do this or that without fiscal court. I mean, that's why I said what I said.
Well, I don't know, well, and I have told, going through negotiations, Keith, there's been a couple of different chairmen of the boards, and
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be honest with you, I don't even know who I was
I know,
negotiating with at
I'm
what
not
time.
fully educated on it either, I'm trying to
Right.
get myself educated on it every day.
Yeah,
And Mayor, to be honest with you, if you weren't on the initial ordinance that we drafted several years ago to allow those dues to go on the tax bills, the average citizen probably doesn't know the step-by-step procedure that it came to be that way. So I did not take any offense to it myself, I can assure you that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is
but reassure, when these started out with Neil Powell and even with Stacy, I even told volunteers, go to the masters. Throw your equipment on their table, said, come fight fires with us, we need money, whatever. Because here, my whole purpose behind this was to incorporate the two departments together as one. And this is all for the community. It's not for just me or the county or anything, but my whole purpose of this was community-oriented, community-based for the service, to provide best service for the community. And to provide that is to incorporate that as one and provide a 24, 48-hour fire department. That is my intentions. And to do that, you have almost to have equal pay coming from both sides. Where the corporation right now has been, the last 12 years have been about $480,000. These are just rough numbers, and right now, the city is at, in the past 12 years, has gone from the same to $1.1 million. So, and it's not about who gets the service, because everybody is eligible to receive the service. If you're stuck in a car in New Hope, who comes to get you out? The fire department's gonna come get you. So it's not about who is actually gonna get it. Everybody is eligible to get the service. It's about the service is what it is. So at that point, then, I have not received anything about the study, anything like that. The corporation has had a year to get on board. The corporation has known that this was coming on because the last administration given notice of terminating this contract. It's been a year. And then when I was hired, hired by the people, elected or hired by the people, in November, and I think it's around November the 12th and 15th, I give my layout. I told what I wanted to do. And then there was a dysfunction within the corporation, and hopefully they'll get that lined out. So at this point, it's waited to coming down to the wire, and I'm not, I don't do business that way. You had a year to prepare, you need to get it done. So to announce to you guys, I have given a letter to my chief of police that he is to resign as the Bardstown Fire Chief or resign as the Nelson County Fire Chief.
you said police chief, but you meant.
Or, I'm sorry, the Fire Chief, yes.
I was getting ready to say,
I was gonna say,
you call it Rick.
No, we ain't getting rid of Rick. You forget that.
You did say police.
I know, all right, well, I correct
That caught my
myself.
attention.
So I'm in fire. I'm thinking about police.
I
I'm still in police week, the Memorial Week for police, but
Yeah.
no. So I have issued a letter to my fire chief, Marlon Hire, to either resign from this Bardstown City Fire Department or resign from the corporation fire.
Can you still be a volunteer for the corporation side?
That right now is,
Not
he will
I
be
mean,
an
that's almost
employee.
impeding on his civil rights.
I don't know. I mean, anybody can volunteer.
That's what I'm
I don't
talking
have a problem with it, yeah, as long as it doesn't interfere with city functions. 'Cause
I understand.
He may be your chief. I haven't got a response from him yet.
He's not, and corporations are
Corporation,
private,
not your
non-profit.
chief, I'm sorry, the
Yeah.
corporation.
I'm trying to separate that, and it's hard to do because we've always been supportive of the corporation fire department in all areas of the county where we can. And so I'm trying to separate that, but I'm gonna go back to the funding disparity that you've discussed. There is absolutely no doubt that the fire protection in the city limits of Bardstown is that's really improved over the years by the volunteer side and the paid staff side. The funding, by adding paid firefighters to your operations, I guess the short sight was that how are we gonna fund a full-time 3-shift type of thing? Never did was thought through maybe down the road. This community has always been blessed to have a lot of volunteers that show up and do their job and do a great job. I hate to see the firefighters get involved in the real political side of this issue, and that's the money side of the issue. Because these guys are firefighters to be a firefighter. Just like a policeman want to be a policeman. A policeman can make a lot more money doing a lot of other things many times.
I agree.
But they want to be policemen, and likewise with firefighters, they want to fight the fires, and they don't want the politics side of it to come out. But as I discussed with you and Councilman Hagan at our meeting a couple of weeks ago on this issue, there's somewhere along the line, there has to be some value given to the citizens of the county for paying the city's occupational tax. Somewhere along the line, there has to be some value for the $500 that I pay to the city for my occupation, $480, whatever I pay right in that range. So there has to be some value given to all those taxes that are paid to the city. And, we want to, even though we live outside the city, we want to be a part of the community. We're a community. And so I would think that anywhere from 60 to 75% of that city occupational tax is being paid for and being brought in from citizens that don't live in the corporate limits. They work in the corporate limits, don't get me wrong, but they live outside the corporate limits. So I would hope that the city council would give some value to that when you're saying that the disparity in the funding mechanism is that. Now, you can't, in my opinion, you cannot pick and choose where you place tax dollars, unless it's a gas tax that goes for the roads, unless it's a tax that's on an ambulance service. You can actually have an ambulance tax, unless it's a water district tax, a sewer tax. Then that money has to be specific. But when you start talking about general taxations, general fund tax and occupational tax funds, unless it's specific in the statute, when you initiate the ordinance that it's going to be used for that, I think that citizens of the county deserve some credit for helping fund city services.
And
Not utilities, not
And
utilities.
vice versa.
And vice versa,
Yeah.
exactly.
Because more people come to the city,
just had to
out on
say
city streets than probably than they go out.
But we're not talking about
That.
streets.
We're just talking
We're
about
talking about
general
services.
taxes. Yeah.
We're talking about the streets, our streets are primarily funded by gas tax, and yours are too.
We've added in.
We've all added some.
We've added in our
Because there's not
tax
enough to
rate
do,
for that.
we've all added some. So I would think there should be some value put in that when you look at this big picture.
Well,
Hey, we gotta look at the big picture, I think.
I do.
And down the road, 24/7 fire department, I'm not sure that this community is big enough at this point for that.
Well, my thing is.
For paying.
If my time's wrong, but if during the day your run time is about, what, minute and a half?
Under 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes,
And you're on the road.
and you're on the road. At nighttime, it's 15 to 18 maybe?
After 4 o'clock, it increases to 8 minutes, just a little bit more, the exact numbers.
Or
And
then
then
if it's later at night, it's
midnight to 4 AM, it's pushing up to 12 minutes.
12, all right, so let's say
Oh, I
12 to
understand.
15.
Oh, we understand that.
The
Now,
only
yeah.
thing that I'm trying
And
to.
I understand that where I live,
Yeah.
if it's 20 minutes, I understand that because I live a little bit further out.
20 minutes? No,
I'm fine with
we'll
it.
be there quicker than that.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is the only thing that I'm trying to prevent is just like police services. The only thing I'm trying to prevent is another Guthrie Drive incident. That's what I'm trying to do. And you can what if it all you want, but if we could have got there earlier, or if we could get there at this time, can we save this much? Can we do this much more? And it's emergency services.
I understand.
And that's where I'm at. So, if you want me to, I'm gonna throw it back in your lap, since it's on you. How much are you willing to give to the corporation to keep this together and to make this 24/48 fire? And you don't know an answer today, but you.
If you wanted to fully fund a full-time fire department 24/7, 24/7, you're looking at a budget.
But it's not 24/7, it's 24/48. That's the way they look at it. So,
7 days a week, have fire protection, 24 hours a day. Just like your police department, just like your EMS station. You're looking at a budget anywhere from $2 million to $3.5 million to make that work. To make it work, right.
the question is, it's not,
And we're already at
not that.
$1.7 million or
How much
so
do you want to
between
put
the
on
two of
emergency
$1.5 million.
services? How much do you want to put on public safety? Is there a dollar amount?
If
Yeah, I don't
the
know.
citizens that live on Balltown Road could get 5-minute service, 3 to 5 minute service like you can here in the corporate city limits, there might be some fairness to that.
And lower our ISO rating.
Yeah. But those are discussions we can have.
It could, because some places in the
But-
county,
but
you're
I'm not so
9
sure
and
that they
10
can get
right
the
now,
same
and I
quality
think
service
If you're 24/48.
because of the drive
you have
time,
a
10 to
full
15
time,
minutes.
I think it'll lower the ISO rating. Maybe not as quite as much as is out in the back, but it's gonna help. But anyway, that's food for thought, that's all I got to
So
say.
you're not gonna give us any credit for our occupational tax money?
But you took that away from the city, I think, because y'all used to give the city some, Bloomfield some, New Haven.
For the ambulance service. Mayor Brown was mayor and he agreed to subsidize the ambulance service when we bought the ambulance service from the private company, and that's where that money went.
Anyway, so that's a whole new different thing, but we're gonna move forward with what the city has to do to provide the best care, and service for the citizens. And, you know, if you wanna look at that, you're more than welcome, but, hopefully, Mr. Chief Howard will have a response to me today, correct?
Yes.
And.
It's pretty responsive.
And also, I want to assure, just as we're talking about 24/48 service, we're just talking about staffing to have people in the station. This in no way means that the volunteers are not going to be a huge part of these departments. I mean, this is just to get a primary response in the station. Now, I just want to clarify what
Right.
the mayor's saying here. This is not saying that there will not be a volunteer department. There will still be a combination part of it. Department hugely supported by the volunteers.
Volunteers are very, very important to this. And the volunteers, hopefully will, if you all decide to give or not give, but if not, they can volunteer for both sides.
Well, John, you
But I
say
gotta
us,
move forward.
it's not really us, it's the corporation, as Judge has said. You know, it's not us, it's Fiscal Court, they're LLC.
Well, I'm asking you if you're gonna give money to the
They
corporation.
have never.
We haven't never presented a plan to us at all, John.
I haven't either, I haven't gotten a counter offer, nothing, mediation. Mediation, there's nothing to mediate, it's just, it's.
Well, you're asking for an offer, so I consider that
Yeah,
mediation.
you know, you
You're
said
asking
you.
for an offer from the
I'm
corporation.
trying- What I'm trying to do is to include you, because, through the news media, it didn't seem like you all were being included, and I know you don't.
I didn't take offense to it. I just want you to
I didn't
know.
take offense either, I just said, I
I'm
just
trying
wish
to-
that we had sat down as leaders and kind of discussed the background history that it had to go through Fiscal Court. I wasn't aware of that until the judge told me that, because it happened before my
Way
time.
before your time.
Yeah, I had no
But I
idea.
didn't,
years
I didn't want to
before
step out of that box to the point, that my negotiation had to be with the chairman of the board, and that's where it lies at. So, and I'm just here.
I appreciate the explanation.
I'm just here as mayor and here as a.
I like that, I wish you'd
friend.
done it 6 months ago, you know, and then we'd had time to prepare, probably more so than what
Well,
we got now. We
The
got
cor-
2 months.
The corporation should have been here a year ago.
Well, this thing's been batted around for the last
Since
7
nineteen
years.
ninety-five.
Yeah, and it just keeps coming back. So it's time to put it to bed one way or the other.
I'll set up a meeting with the corporation and discuss some issues with them.
Mayor, quick question, I'm just curious, how do you feel that separating these two departments gets you closer to your 24/48 protection for the city? How does that help you reach that goal?
The goal is, it can be done. I'm almost for sure I got the support of the council. I got the support of my chief and the full-time firefighters. It's doable. But the thing about it is it's just not that. The other thing is it's the equal part of money. it's to do that, you gotta have the money, and we can't do this. We can, and we're gonna do it, one way or the other.
So you
We're
gonna put a
do it.
second shift on?
And third?
I'm working on that now. Yes. We're gonna do it, but I can't do it off the $120,000 that the corporation gives me a year.
So if you take that away, then you're gonna make that back up.
Well, the $120,000, I really don't get back $80,000 of that, because 20 of that goes to the chief's salary. So $80,000.
Well, I mean, you're getting it just in an indirect way to
Yeah.
help the chief's salary.
But there's other things that's gonna happen down the road. I will get the extra.
Appreciate y'all coming in.
Yeah, but, and again, I wanna extend the offer, because, in the past administrations, we have, I think, I've talked since Timmy Hutchins left, and we haven't gotten together and broke bread and ate chicken.
We've talked about doing that.
And we need to do that, because we can operate as one, closer to closer.
Let me switch gears here since I've got you on the floor. I presented you and Councilman Hagan a proposal on the 911 dispatching in verbal context a couple of weeks ago. Have you been able to go any further with any of the council folks on that?
No, not right now. I'm gonna rectify this fire first. I wanna do one at a time, because as you guys know, we have the fire department agreement, the interlocal agreement between the rec department and the interlocal agreement on the dispatch.
Yeah, but see, we technically don't have, the fire department is
I
a
know, but
corporation, so you
I
kinda,
know,
you know,
no,
but we
I'm-
do have an agreement, written agreement between the city and county
On-
on the dispatching.
Yes, but
And
I wanna
recreation.
take care of the fire department first. Now, this is a
But
priority.
that doesn't really directly affect us until the corporation comes to us.
I'm taking those in order.
Okay, I got you covered.
So, as soon as I rectify that, which will be very soon,
Oh, yeah, it's 60 days or less.
90.
The fire.
Well,
department
as
June
far as
30th.
the
30th.
contract with the corporation's up at the end of June,
Yeah.
June 30th, and, but I'll have this rectified today. So, anyway, so that, and then we will, I'll put him on the spot, but
If you'll allow me, I mean, there's no use in dragging it out if that's the case, because I've informed the membership last night at the meeting, you know, with that request, it's obvious that we've got a decision to be made. So that decision that the mayor has asked me, we have to look at how's the best way to do that. Obviously, I have to go one side or the other, because there's two completely separate departments here, or there's going to be. So, I will choose to stay with, I've informed the membership, I will choose to stay with the city of Barstown, and hope absolutely to work with whom the corporation puts into play as a chief. It's absolutely critical that as we do this, they put someone in that we can work together to make this transition, and that it's not forced on the community, that's done in an organized manner. So, if that helps clear things up, I will be presenting the mayor a letter today.
I presume that probably was gonna happen.
well,
The retirement system and everything else, the benefit package heavy.
I can assure you, and the mayor can assure you, that by our discussions as well, that is not what makes my decision.
I understand, but it's important, you gotta live.
Well,
I understand that.
I want to explain it, and to do that, just because I look at the two fire departments, and I'll use yours as, we're two big brothers, we've been living together. It doesn't, just because we're going our separate ways, doesn't mean we still don't love each other. We're just going our separate ways, and we're gonna help each other still, it'll still be there.
Well, John, don't
Things-
you,
There's gonna be some things that'll be different, but
well, Mayor, don't you feel like that, like the judge said, the occupational tax that all of us pay and the judge pays is not helping you fund this 2448 you're talking about?
everybody pays the occupational tax, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
We pay it too.
I don't get to vote for any of you all, but you made it on to all of us. And I'm like the judge, our part of that should be helped funded, because you took the cap off that auction, or you didn't, but
I
the
didn't.
previous administration did, to gain an extra $850,000 to $1 million a year. I think it's up to $1 million a year. I heard Mike Abel say,
1.8 is the city's revenue projections for the
but I'm talking
occupational.
about extra.
Extra is about about 800, 900,000.
Yeah.
I heard Mike Abel say before he retired that the $75,000 y'all was losing on the gas tax was, the occupational tax was well over exceeding that. So when he said well over, I'm like the judge, I'm 800 to $1 million. And that's coming from residents, some of them city, but a majority of them is couldn't vote for any of you, and we're paying it. And what are we getting out of that service? My wife works out tired. She's paying that service. What extra did she get?
She, water, sewer, when she, as it works.
I pay my water bill.
It all goes into the whole.
I know, but do you see, you saying you're acting like the county or the outside residents is not paying their fair share?
No,
Y'all put a tax on us, the city council, mayor and the city council put a tax on citizens that could not vote for any of you all.
I understand.
My wife is very upset.
I have business owners inside the city limits that gripe every day that says that we're spending taxpayers' money, but they don't have a right to vote. Well, let me do this. Do you want to give them that right to vote? Merge the governments to one government, urban county government, just one government.
We're two.
That would solve it. I mean, everybody has a right to vote and
that wouldn't
save the
solve it.
taxes. Oh, yeah.
But we're muddying up the water. But that's,
Mayor, I mean, just to their point, I believe, whenever they raise the taxes, that's the reason they give it. It's because you use police and fire protection in the city limits.
Yeah, but that's not, you
mean,
can't just, you just can't say it's going to, those taxes are going just to police and fire. It's like the school tax.
Now, past administrations have said that, when you ask them, that's what they'll tell you. That's why we tax you, because you use our police and our fire in the city limits for 8 hours out of the day, you should pay.
Yeah, because we show up to a wreck, the police show up to a wreck, they're gonna say, are you a county resident? Well, oh yeah, well, you're injured, so we have to call a county unit, we don't do that. It's for all the services that the city renders.
I understand that, but what Jeff's saying is both of some of the revenue, and again, I contend that 60 to 70% of the city's occupational tax money is paid by non-city residents. The statistics will show you that. And there, so on that $1.8 million of projected revenue, about 1.2 million of that is being paid for by non-city residents. That's a lot of money, not to receive any additional services or have any say-so. I understand the say-so part about voting and all, that's a different story. But to not get any services that you feel like that, then all of a sudden the fire department disparities, $30 difference or whatever it may be in people's minds, it becomes a big issue, then it's not, I don't think there's any fairness to how you're analyzing.
Well,
And we can disagree, and we'll work to the next thing together. I hope that happens. But we can disagree on that issue, and I will go to my grave with that on my mind.
well, and you all know, county and cities always have different numbers. It depends on who's operating the pencil. And it's always been that way.
And I can tell you also, John, and we own property in town, nowhere on my tax bill do I ever see anything that says fire dues. And the numbers you give, 140, 150, depending on who you listen to, I can't see that as a true dollar amount because my property tax bill is $300. It can't possibly be half my tax bill to fund the fire department, which is many other entities as there are within the city government. So are you billing the residents using the numbers saying that you've got a factory out here, it's worth $50 million, he's paying $150, and you got a house over here worth $50, paying $150, so there has to be some parity down the line as to, it can't just say that all residents pay X number of dollars when there's nowhere that we can see that dollar amount as taxpayers or as folks from outside the city.
I think Mike, before,
Mike always scared me because his numbers can be anywhere, depends on what side of the page.
well, and that goes for any accountant.
That's true.
That wants to do it, they can work those numbers, Dean can work numbers in who's ever favor. Now, anybody can work the numbers,
But
doing bids, you can work the numbers.
The fairness of both sides, meet in the middle, the fairness is the
But
thing I look
whose
at.
side of the fairness are we on?
In fact, and these guys will tell you sometimes, I'm considered to be a city judge a lot of times, because I love the city of Bardstown probably more than anybody sitting in this room.
No, you don't. I do.
He's-
I'm working a whole lot cheaper than you are.
But I'm trying to make a point here that I do look at it, because I represent everybody that's in the corporate limits of the city of Bardstown, New Haven, Bloomfield, and Fairfield. And I do realize that, and, anyway, let's have this discussion another day.
Sure.
Fiscal court, you've made your presentation to the court, we will take it under advisement. We will talk to the corporation and take it from there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
'Cause
you, Mayor.
we can talk about this all day long.
Oh, yeah, great, bring the bread and chicken and Coke, we'll do it. Thank you, guys.
Dean?
Let's
Just like to
say
say,
yes.
as the chairman of the corporation right now, we did have some conversations with John Loyalty, we tried to, see if we could take his proposal and see if we can, do some other things with it. The truck replacement schedule that the corporation has come up with for as many pieces of apparatus that we have, a lot of that wasn't able to be given on. I mean, he gave the ultimatum or proposal as accept or reject. That's what we did.
So you rejected it?
Correct.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay. Next, go to the first reading of the budget. No, Jeff, you've got
A little
it.
bit lighter here,
You're gonna be looking back probably quarter
huh? I'll be
to.
fine.
He did that on purpose.
I should have let John talk a little longer.
He did that on
Got rid of Jeff.
No, I think you're gonna be surprised.
The budget revisions, Rhonda emailed you, and I put a hard copy just between what I presented you, when I presented you the original budget to today. The revisions are outlined. I'm not gonna go into detail on those. Now, if you guys want me to go through in detail, I'd be glad to. It's not much different in this budget than last year's budget.
It's less, that's what I like about it.
Well, I'm just.
I figured out what the key was to get you guys on my side.
It worked.
Just to lower the budget.
Went through it, as I always do, went through it line by line, and item by item, and as you say, there's not a lot of difference, and I think the estimates, the revenue were conservative and expenses are realistic, so if you compare it to last year's budget, we're, it's relatively flat. I didn't see anything that was too troubling.
Darn it. Also, when you approve the budget, we'll also approve the standing order for the routine bills. You got a copy of that?
Yes.
Ron didn't send you a copy?
Yeah, I got
I don't think I did.
I think after 4 years, Ron has finally got the training to read these things. I didn't bother too
Let
much.
me pass it around.
Unless it was in this, what we got this morning.
Did you put that in there?
It may have been in the back of it.
I think it was,
Yeah, it is back there.
Okay, yeah, it's in the
On the
back.
very back there. This one.
And
That's it,
Ron-
right one?
Yes. Those are monthly payments that you generally make that need to be approved. Well, at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the budget on first reading, advertise for a second.
if you have a copy, a hard copy of the revised budget, is that what this is?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What I gave you today, was laying right on your desk here, with the corrections made on, that were listed on the first page.
So we still got, we can still review what we've
Maybe first and
handled.
second reading, and even after it's approved, we can do amendments.
Okay, okay.
But that's the easy way, really, is to come to consensus.
Judge, I'll be happy to make a motion to accept that.
Thank you, Magistrate Lear.
I'd be happy to second.
Thank you so much. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove?
First on.
Motion will carry.
First off,
First reading, advertised for a second. Now,
Correct.
that being said, Matthew, I'll tell Rhonda this. I'm gonna ask for fiscal court's consideration to move, not to cause somebody too much heartache, the June meetings, June the 2nd falls pretty fast, and then within 2 weeks, and so getting closer to the end of the month, if we could meet the 9th and the 23rd versus the 1st and 2nd. First and third Tuesday, do the 2nd and 4th Tuesday. We've done that in years past,
Yeah, but
For
because it
me,
gets us closer to the bills list.
for me, it'd be great to be out of town for that 1 week completely.
Do we need anything done?
So I say yes to
I
that.
mean, and if somebody's going, you'll be here in town?
I have to check my book, but I think I will.
Call your wife?
It works out a lot better for me.
It works, I think it's great.
It helps me too.
They'll have to be advertised as special meetings.
But the reason I say that, before he advertises for the second reading and adoption of the ordinance, it'd be nice to know that, because that way he can put that in the thing, we won't have to wait till the last meeting of the month to do that.
I'd be good with that.
You guys, Jerry, okay on that? Keith, on that?
I'll be okay, I guess I'll change my rate.
We'll take care of it.
Okay.
I don't have-
It'll be on the night. It'll be a motion.
Not a motion.
Second and fourth.
Well,
Instead of
we
first
might
and
go
third.
ahead, if I could get a motion, because it will be a matter of public record that way, to move the June meetings to the 9th and 23rd.
I'll make a motion to that effect.
Motion by Bernard Ice, second
I'll second it.
by Sam Hutchins. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove, motion will carry. That being said, you've approved the budget on first reading, and hoping that we'll move forward on second reading and adoption. I want to ask that we go ahead and advertise for the new ambulance, because it will take months to get in.
Great.
Everybody okay with
I
that?
don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let me go ahead and say this, while we're doing that, I want to advertise for the police cruiser, too, that's in the budget.
I was getting ready to ask you about the.
Wait a minute, that's way too many things.
Well, it's gonna take several weeks to get in.
Oh, absolutely. They lost it too
You
long.
don't think you can duct tape that together and get it back on the road?
Well, Joe gave up one of his to the police.
Are we gonna get any insurance money off that little dinghy?
We're working on that. We're working on that.
The adjuster came over Monday or Tuesday, and they're working it.
Did you
They're
think it was a
asking-
total?
He did not say, but my, instinct
You lose
is,
every
yes,
time you have one,
it's a
typically
total.
every time you have one. Because you got a rolling vehicle that's operational, you have to turn around.
Without safety.
Yeah.
You need a motion?
Motion to approve advertising for the four-wheel drive ambulance and the police cruisers. Two police cruisers.
For the ambulance. I'll make a motion for the ambulance.
Well,
Put it
go
together.
ahead, put them together, good.
Yes.
Motion been made by Jerry, second by Jeff. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove,
We've been,
the motion will carry. You don't have to approve everything as it comes back.
we've been fighting for this new ambulance for years to save people's lives.
We waited the last minute to beat us
Oh,
down.
yeah, he really drove it in the last 5.
But y'all are very hospitable.
Who knows when you got momentum?
Well, yeah, momentum does help. Anything else before the court?
Yes, I would, I'd like to publicly offer condolences to the Harold Sneed family, passed away this weekend over here at Long Valley Cancer. Harold was very active in the Republican Party. He was instrumental in the campaigns of a lot of elected officials who represent Nelson County, including our Senators McConnell and Paul, our Representative Guthrie, our State Senator Jimmy Hickman, and State Representative Dave Floyd, and myself. He was a friend of mine, good guy. Couple of texts from some of our elected officials that they wanted me to put on record here. Dave Floyd wanted to emphasize Harold's military service as a Marine in Vietnam and a business owner, and his contributions to the church. Senator Higdon says he believed in people, and he believed in me, and I am forever grateful.
Good fellow, good fellow.
Yeah, Robert Augustine, chairman of the GOP, Nelson County GOP, says he was on the county board of elections for years, chairman of the vice chair of the GOP. He was second district GOP volunteer of the year in 2013. Interim chairman last year when Robert ran for city council. He said he was the moral conscience of the local GOP, but mostly he was my friend and I would miss him. Harold was a good guy.
Good fellow. And for those who don't remember Harold, he was the guy on the TV commercial from Iron Crafters. I don't know if you remember that company. They had those metal doors and windows, and he sold the company, but it was his company. And do you remember that commercial, guys? Yeah. But he was a good fellow. I used to try to get him, I was telling somebody earlier, I used to try to get Harold to bite on political stories since we were on opposite sides of the aisle. But we were really closer each of us wanted to admit. And Harold wouldn't bite. He didn't know how to take me. He was not from around here, so he didn't really know how to take me. But he was a good person, good community-minded person, and he will be missed. I echo that as well. Anything else?
I want to wish my wife a happy anniversary today.
Oh,
God love her, she's put up with
How
a
many
whole lot
years?
of pleasure.
how many years? How many years?
42.
42 years.
Happy anniversary.
8 more to get to 50. You guys have anything?
I do feel sorry for her.
Motion to adjourn by Bernard Ice, second. Second by Jeff Lear. All approved, say aye. Disapproved? Motion will carry. Thank you all so much.